You know who else might be back, guys? Kentucky might be back. They might officially be back. They've also won 3 in a row. They won at Tennessee. Sorry, T.O. They beat Georgia by 14, and they beat Texas A&M, who was 5-0 in the SEC coming into that game. The biggest thing here, Phantom, I'm going to you first on this one. Cal has cut the rotation. It seems like he's fully bought into this idea. They are basically playing 8 guys. There are 6 in the main rotation. Lance Ware kind of gets the minutes whenever Oscar Tshiebwe's in foul trouble or needs a quick spell on the bench. And Severe Wheeler, in the last 2 games combined that he's played, has averaged 9.5 minutes. So it seems like Cal has kind of figured it out. And I'm going to give you another stat. Their adjusted offensive efficiency on Torvik in that 3-game stretch is 114.6, and that would rank them in the top 15 nationally if you put that over the entire season. So, Fanta, is Kentucky back?
Not to the degree that I believe in Indiana, because I still have my doubts with Kentucky offensively, but the performance against Texas A&M was what I'd like to see more of here as things string along, because they had 4 in double figures. Antonio Reeves, to me, has emerged as the X factor for this ball club, because over the last 5 games, he's averaging around 15, 16 points per game. He's got 2 20-plus point performances. He hit 5 threes against A&M on Saturday. So, guys, we have been clamoring all season long for Kentucky to make some shots from the outside. And frankly, we've called them a poor shooting team, and rightfully so, right? I mean, that's what we've talked about. But for this team, they're another one now. They've unlocked something here. Reeves is delivering. He's stepping up here over the last couple of games. Over these last 2 weeks, he's been very, very good, much better. And, you know, I think sometimes for teams, when you're losing, you get to a point where the only guys you got are yourselves. And I feel this watching Kentucky the last couple of weeks. I felt it in the win at Tennessee. I thought they played with a chip on their shoulder for the first time. I really did. I thought Tshiebwe came out and punched and said, I'm tired of this. I'm actually tired of this. I'm tired of getting doubted. I'm tired of losing. Like, on the marathon of college basketball, everybody goes through a period, for the most part, where you're going to be doubted, or where somebody's going to be like, you know what, they're not what they're made out to be. You know who people are calling that for on this Monday morning? Not to the same degree. I think all 3 of us agree they'll be okay. But, like, you know who's going through that as they wake up today? Kansas. They've lost a couple games in a row. Now they're at Baylor tonight. And you all know, if they lose to Baylor on Monday night, well, it's the Big 12. It's life in the Big 12.
Yeah.
For Kentucky, I agree with you. They found the lineup. Cal is riding it. Because, guys, could he really ride any other horse at this point? The answer to that question is no.
No. Who would you think would beat Indiana or win Indiana or Kentucky at this point?
Indiana.
Yeah. I think I probably would lean Indiana here, but I think that would be that's one of those ones where you're looking at like a 1.5 spread, something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be a good game.
Close.
That'd be a fun game.
Yeah, it's close. I think they found a solution by proxy whenever Severe couldn't play against Tennessee. I think that's a big point, and he is really good at what he is. He's an energy guy. He's a change of pace guy, but if he's your constant pace, there's problems because, guys, he shoots good percentages and all that, but it's almost like the other opposing teams aren't scared of it. So whenever he's driving into everybody, and there's not any space. Now you have different guys running the point. CJ Frederick, you're having to facilitate offense. You're having to call more plays. And whenever you're bigger around the perimeter, you have that ability. And now on top of that, Toppin's been playing well over the past 3 games to give Sheeb more space. Antonio Reeves, he had 23 against Texas A&M. Like, this is a guy that has scoring capability. It's a matter of, had they been in the right positions? And guys, there's a couple of weeks ago, I did like a miniature breakdown of Kentucky. Like, a lot of the stuff they run will work. It's just their angles have been bad. Their spacing has been bad. They don't get off the ball. Whenever they pass, they don't go away. They stand still a lot. A lot of those things are changing because they have one less guy that's hunting the ball down to make a play. And Severe is always looking to run back to the basketball. We talked about Remy Martin last year, how Bill Self always talked about. He always runs back to the ball, and that's a problem. Severe kind of has that same thing. But now that he's off the floor, you have a guy like CJ Frederick bringing it up. He's very willing to pass it and go spot up and go find a place elsewhere.
That's his natural inclination, right? Severe's natural inclination is go get the rock. CJ's natural inclination is stand in the corner and let it fly when he gets it.
That's right. That's right. So it helps him. It helps that offense out a lot because there's more space to operate. Sheeb has more space. And guys, they're shooting 36.8% from three on the season. And they're the number one offensive rebounding team in the country because of Sheeb. So, like, even when they're missing, they're getting another shot on almost 40% of
they never had to be a great. You don't have to run great stuff if you're.
They just have to be marginally decent at a lot.
You have to be able to create good shots for the guys that can make shots. You have to be able to create situations where you have CJ Frederick, like we said, standing in the corner, catching and shooting, where you have Antonio Reeves coming off a curl where he doesn't all of a sudden come off that screen and he's looking at three guys in front of him. You have to have the option where he can put the ball on the floor and get to the rim or just take that little pull up off the screen. You have to be able to get Jacob Toppin in a situation where you have him ISO'd in the mid post, right? And he can make a move without seeing three guys in front of him. That's all you need. Because you're going to be able to get enough off the offensive glass with Sheway, and you're going to be able to make enough threes, and now they're able to space the floor. It's frustrating that it took a Severe Wheeler injury for like Cal to do what we've all been kind of asking him to do. And the other big thing is that we're seeing less of the two big lineups, right? Lance Ware is, if you just have him be the energy guy that comes in for 10 to 15 minutes to use his fouls, to spell Sheway, to make sure that you're not playing Sheway 39 minutes a night, he can do that.
But do you trust them? Do you trust them?
I am getting to the point where I trust them to be like a team that can win a game or two in the tournament. I don't think that they're ever going to be what we thought they were going to be coming into the season. Part of that is because some guys haven't developed quite the same way that we thought. Sometimes some of it is like there's lots of reasons why. But I still think that they are I would say probably the third best team in the SEC right now. Is that fair? I mean, Alabama's the best. Tennessee's probably the second best. And then I would put Kentucky there as that next best team.
Hard to argue.
With upside, like that, with upside if the pieces are actually working. So it's now the thing we criticized him for early on in the season, guys, was that he wasn't putting his guys in a position to succeed. And I think now he's kind of found a way to put his guys in a position where they can all kind of be their best selves.
Yeah. Tell you what, Saturday night, they get Kansas in Lexington.